Hello out there in YouTube land. This is Morrisman, and as always, I thank you for coming to my channel and supporting my ongoing videos. Today I'm going to do more or less a part 2 of a video I did a couple of days ago. That was quite popular. I got a lot of responses, and I thank you guys for sending in your comments. And the topic was attention R&B songwriters and where are the black bands and who stole the soul. So I kind of want to just do another short follow-up to that video because there's a lot of things I still want to cover. There's a lot of things that people sent me comments regarding as far as questions. Because I'm going to give you a little bit about my musical background first of all. I've been in the music industry off and on for over 30-something years as a musician, producer, artist, songwriter, sound engineer, just to name a few things. I try to do everything. You know, I just like doing a lot of different things. I like to keep doing new things. So, and I used to live in the Chicagoland area, and back in the 80s, I played behind R. Kelly, the late Bobby Blue Bland, and the late Tyrone Davis, the Shy-Lights. So, I have a track record of as far as, you know, my musical skills. So, I got into songwriting probably in the late 80s because I enjoy listening to artists like Rick James. Rick James was my idol. You know, if it wasn't for Rick James, I probably would have never picked up a guitar in my life or tried to write songs. But, you know, he died an untimely death, and we all mourned his death in 2004. So I kind of want to, you know, kind of get back into the songwriting aspect. And this video is more or less to kind of help the young, inspiring R&B songwriters because you don't know what you don't know sometimes, and I learned a lot from the older people from my era and, you know, the era earlier than me, so I'm just trying to keep it alive, the R&B music in the past, on my expertise or my insight on the music business and songwriting. And like I stated yesterday, the majority of the songs that I hear today, R&B songs, they don't have a bridge. And I don't think that some of the people that are writing these songs realize that they don't have a bridge, or don't realize the importance of a bridge. Because I'm going to name a few songs like I did yesterday. And I'm not bashing them. I enjoy all these artists, you know. R. Kelly, for one. Like I said, I personally met him, played behind him back in the 80s when he was getting his career started in Chicago. And I give you just a few titles of some of the songs that I did covers on of R. Kelly song. I Wish, I Really Want, I believe, off the TPK album. The Zoo, and I think I did a couple of more. And what's interesting about those 3 songs that I mentioned was they basically had like 3 chords, and they had no bridge, no change. Just a 4-minute, 4-chord song to just kind of run aimlessly just throughout the entire song. Now, every song that you write sometimes won't necessarily need a different chord progression, but 90% of them do. Like I said, with techno, you cut them a little slack because their purpose is just to make you dance on the dance floor. That's it. They're not worried about chord progressions, arrangements, vocal arrangements. Where does this guitar go? Where do I put the piano layers? My drum accents, my crashes, my crescendos. They're not concerned with that. You know, their purpose is just to make you dance, and they do a good job of that. But for you R&B songwriters that are trying to pin your songs on recording artists, you need to study the greats, you know, Babyface, Burt Bacharach from the 60s, you know, a great example to study. Here is something interesting. When it comes to songwriters, authors of books, and movie filmmakers, we all have a different, I guess, time frame. And what I mean by that is the filmmaker has at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to convey his message and story. The author of a book has anywhere from 10 pages to 500 pages to convey his message or story. But the songwriter only gets 5 to 7 minutes. And normally, I would say 4 minutes and 30 seconds to 5 minutes and 30 seconds is an adequate amount of time. When you get into 7, 8 minute songs, you know, unless you're doing just a straight out groove, it's too much. The example I used yesterday, Rihanna's Rehab, that song only got 4 chords, and it's only 7 minutes and 35 seconds long. It's too long. She could have wrapped that song up in 4 minutes and 30 seconds because you get to a point where you've already made your point. Don't overkill it by just adding additional bars and making it 2-3 minutes longer. It lets you know that the songwriter is just aimlessly going through a course of songwriting and don't know where to stop. But a good example of making it short and getting to the point is the 60s music. If you pull out any old 60s record right now and look at the time frame of these songs, most of them are no longer than 2 minutes and 32 seconds. But they did so much in 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Again, like with the R. Kelly songs, and I'm not bashing them, I'm a big fan again. I think the Zoo is like maybe 6 minutes, 5 minutes. I Wish it's like 5 minutes. And it's only 3 chords. It took me less than a minute to play that whole song because I figured out the chords in a matter of less than 60 seconds. The Beatles songs, again, 2 minutes and 32 seconds. It takes me sometimes 15 to 20 minutes to get through that 2 minute and 32 second song because of the lavish arrangements, the chord progressions. And just about every Beatles song, there is a chord progression change. There's a bridge. They even also throw in a solo within a 2 minute and 32 second time frame. But a lot of these R&B songs now 7-8 minutes and just a run on of 4 chords. No bridge, no solos, no breakdowns. So if you really want to be, shape your craft, study the greats. And that's in any aspect of life. If you want to be a businessman, you might want to study Donald Trump. How did he get started? How did he become such a successful person that he is? It just doesn't pertain to music, but just in life in general. The more you study the people that are doing what you want to do, the better you become. And also I stress to try to go get some formal education as far as music classes. Learn to read music, learn theory, because that's extremely important. They expect you to know your craft or your specialty if you're trying to get into a certain industry, regardless if it's music or business or whatever. Tell them, marketing or whatever. So it's very important to try to get as much formal training. You don't want to be just one of the people, I'm going to dabble in this and try to make a living dabbling, because you won't last too long. Trust me, the music industry chew you up and spit you out quickly. One of my favorite movies on the reality and how the music business works is Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I think that movie is one of the best movies that depict the real music industry. It's cutthroat. 1 minute you're making $1 million and the next year you're not making nothing. You go from rags to zero. So also save your money. Don't spend all of that money because you don't know what you're going to be making next year. And here is another interesting fact that most people don't realize, and I didn't either at first. You look at all these entertainers like TLC, Barry Manilow, and these people filed bankruptcy, and they were certified millionaires. And you're like, how do rich people go broke? And here is the answer to that question. Regular folks like you and I, we work a regular job, and before we actually get our physical money, the government already done got us. I mean, they got their taxes, they got their Social Security or whatever. And so we don't have to worry about that. We do file taxes at the end of the year, but we've paid the majority of our taxes. But at the end of the year, to determine if either they overpaid, you overpaid the government, or you still owe them a few dollars. But with the entertainers, actors, musicians, they get paid differently. They get all of their money up front. They get all of it. And it's up to them to pay the taxes on that money. And most of them are just musicians or actors. They're not, bookkeepers and business people from that aspect. Because music is music, and then it's the business of music. They concentrate on their craft. That's what they're supposed to do. But most of them go hire bookkeepers and what's the other profession? Bookkeepers and people that handle their money. And most of them do a bad job at it. And come next year, here comes the government knocking on their door saying, hey, you owe us $1.2 million because you made $10.5 million last year. You didn't spend all your money. So now they're going to audit you and take some of your stuff or whatever. And they have the power to do that. So that's another thing, if you're interested in embarking on a music career or entertainment career, that you need to know about the aspect of business, of the business. because that's how they file bankruptcy and don't have any money. And then a lot of times, unfortunately, they hire a lot of bookkeepers, and they are not the most honest people in the world. Some of them, not all, but there are a few that aren't. And they will kind of cook the books, meaning they're saying that they've taken a little bit off to your money, skimming it off, but yet the books say that you have this much money in the bank. And how Barry Manilow realized that he was cash poor. He went to the bank one day to write a check. And when he went in and wrote the check, they said, "You don't have enough money in here to cover." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And they showed him that this is what you have, and this is what you have. So it's really important also to know that aspect too. But I'm going to basically wrap this video up now. But, I might do a series of more, because there's more information that I can give you. But as far as, inspiring songwriters, work on your craft, study the greats. And also just want to say this quickly because I got a comment regarding someone stated the bands are still around, the black bands, but they're just doing crap now, which is rap. Now, I don't bash anybody's music, because I enjoyed the era that I came from, and I respect the young guys for what they're doing. So, it's not for me to say, I don't like the new stuff because, everybody has their favorite music as far as their era. But the reason why, again, you don't see any quote-unquote black bands or 5 or 6 guys in a group, one guy playing guitar, one playing piano, one guy playing drums, another guitar player, bass player, because the industry has changed for the worse for R&B artists. They, again, want to sign one guy as a solo act and then hire 2 guys to do the entire album, as opposed to paying 5 guys and putting them on contract as a band and paying 5 guys and, they do their thing. That's why you see this trend of just the majority of young black guys. They're trying to rap or create beats. It's not that they don't want to play. There is no demand for it in black music, and the record label signing black artists to be musicians as far as a group of guys called the band. So that's, I think, the main reason why you see our young guys trying to rap and trying to create beats. It's not, again, that they're lazy or they don't want to, play in the band or anything. I think it's up to us older guys who have sons that are trying to do this. Encourage them. Take them to the music store, buy them a guitar or piano, and say, "I'm going to let you get lessons so you can learn this instrument." You can still do your rap thing, but guess what? You're more marketable if you're a rapper/musician versus just a rapper. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this video up. And as usual, I thank you for coming to my channel. And as always, until next time, take care. Thanks.